Hello, and welcome to another 5 minute video. Thank you, as usual, for joining me, and I hope these videos are helping you. Now, in the last video, I was talking about Bibles, comparing a physical and electronic copy of the Bible. For this week, I wanted to go a little bit into the Bible, but to add to last week's, in that some people may be wondering about translations of the Bible, or versions, let me say, instead of translations. That is King James, American Standard, New Living Translation, just to give examples. Um, I personally prefer to have more than one translation because it is helpful at times with some verses which may not be clear when you first read them, to look at it in another translation, and it can help to make more sense, so long as the other translation is now not going off into the deep end. So it is useful to have more than one translation. Uh, I would recommend having at least two translations on hand, but if you are able to, then by all means have more than two translations. Um, Ones I use personally: King James Version, um, American Standard Version, which sometimes reads a bit like the New King James. I will use the New King James as well, and there are other versions I have on the electronic Bible app I use for study, and that is where your electronic Bible app becomes helpful to you, because it can give you access to more translations. Most people have these on their phones, so I'd say go ahead and download one of those. There is one called eSword. It is free, like electronic E dash sword, like a sword which is used for fighting. And it is a free Bible app and has a lot of material on it. Um, if you just familiarize yourself with using it, it is a very useful tool. There's one also available for the computer, but there's also one available for the phone, and a lot of people are mostly on their phones. I may not have enough time to go into the topic I had prepared for today, but let me just start on that a little bit. Um, for today, I had wanted us to consider, when we read our Bibles, sometimes we come across words we do not understand. If there is a word you do not understand, the best favor you can do yourself is to go on the internet and look at that word, or keep a dictionary with you. It is very helpful, and you will find that if you understand one word that a person said that you were not able to understand, the rest of the statement can make a lot more sense. So I encourage us to either have a dictionary on the side beside us, or if you're able to go onto the internet and look up a word, just do that quickly. It doesn't take more than 2 minutes, and it'll help you so much. In addition to that, I wanted to add that when we read our Bibles, when we consider the people in the Bible, we do need to look at them, as I just mentioned right now. I said it without even thinking. They are real people. They lived. Some of the things written in the Bible may seem uh, hard to believe. For example, the sun was stopped in Joshua, in the book of Joshua. That should be around chapter 10. God parted the Red Sea. That's well known to many people. Nobody has ever disputed it. But do you actually believe that actually happened? So things like that. These were real people. These were real events that happened in the Bible. That's where you need to start. And when you've considered that, then you need to remember these are real people who had a culture of their own. So some things which are said make a lot more sense when you understand, okay, their culture was to do this. For example, Romans 16:16, salute one another with an holy kiss. The churches of Christ salute you. There actually have been a lot of questions on that. Should we kiss each other and all that? It was part of their culture. There are people today whose culture, they greet each other by kissing on the cheek, as far as I know, mostly. So these are the kinds of things we need to consider, which will help us to be able to understand more when we read our Bibles, and it'll make a lot more sense. Seeing how I'm making 5-minute videos, I'm gonna have to stop here for this one. Thank you for joining me.